Hello, Libra. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor. And tonight, I will be reading your tea leaves. So welcome. It is so nice to see you. Oh my goodness, it feels like it's been ages. Yeah, we're here. We're here, Libra. It has been wildly hot here in the United States. It has been very smoky where I'm at. You can hear it in my voice for the last week and a half or so. The whole summer has been pretty smoky. We have a lot of forest fires and things going on up in Canada. It blows down, so I guess. I mean, this is what they say. I'm just taking their word for it. I don't really know. This morning, I was out on the porch with my husband. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He's an amazing tarot reader. He also has the channel Tarot Logic. If you have not seen his work, check it out. He's amazing. But we were out on the porch having our coffee, and there were ashes coming down from the sky. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just know that it's been difficult for a lot of people, right? A lot of people affected by the air quality. And, you know, there are a lot of things going on all over the place. So I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you and your family, your people around you are doing well. We are getting to that later part of the season. You know, I'm starting to feel the little pangs of autumn sneaking in. I am excited about all of this. I hope that you are as well. I know in the South you will be going into summer, so I don't know if that's an exciting thing for you or if that's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's going to be super hot pretty soon. But yeah, let's get started. We have that magician energy, which I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it, Libra. The magician, in my estimation, is very much about building up your life, really. You know, not just like stacking money and putting it away or investing it or, you know, buying something. All of that is well and great, but the magician is a world builder, not just like I'm building a new routine for myself within my established life. No, the magician is one that creates entire universes, right? I always think of, and now I'm not like a huge Tolkien fan. I mean, I pay homage, right? Respect, of course. This is one of the great modern world builders, universe builders. Somebody that creates things so deeply and wholly that there are, you know, mythologies, there are languages, there are, you know, art movements within the storytelling. And I mean, there are just everything you can imagine is there. So when we get the magician in there, this is like, okay, we're working on our lives. We're working on getting things together in the way that we want, right? We envision our reality, but it's not just one thing. This is an overhaul, baby. This is like top to bottom. We are doing this thing completely different. Now, I'm going to turn this, and I really want to emphasize how much the magician energy has been around in the last few years. We are at this weird place in our histories. I don't know if we've been here before or not, but we are collectively creating a new era of humanity. And that's already been done through the technologies, right? We are in the technological revolution, okay? We Absolutely. We're just living in a new universe. I mean, everything is so different, and it is so much more readily available for each and every person out here. Okay? Before, things were so guarded. It was, you had to go and, study within the academic systems. You had to get in, very specialized skills and research and learning, being initiated into whatever industry that you are in, into those higher echelons of networking and access to tools and whatever. Well, you know what? We live in a world now where the information is there. It's always been there, but now it's there. The tools are being created every single day. We are more than ever, and I will say this, more than ever, able to build the universes, the life, the reality that we want. And I know that might not be a popular position because of how bad things kind of really are out here for people. But the tools are there. And if you have even just a drop of this magician energy, you are in luck. Now, here's the first thing that I'm seeing, and this all makes sense to me. We have a person right here. That's kind of the central energy. Now, around we have, it looks like different animals and people, okay? At least 2 or 3 people right in here, and I'm guessing this is maybe family, friends. We have a sense of coming together for a common purpose, okay? I feel like it's like things are clicking into place for you and the people that you keep close to you. Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's like your mom, maybe it's your sister or their family or whatever. I feel like there's either you live together or you live very close together. Like you all live in the same neighborhood or at least on the same side of town or whatever. You see each other quite often. You're very involved with one another. Okay? Now, I feel like all of this is true, but not necessarily working together in like a family business or, you all kind of raise your kids and do your things and you're close, but there's not a lot of like, I don't know. Well, it does. Like a family business where everybody is involved in this same kind of work, right? Everybody's focus is on, the same things. Right? Family, the household, work. When all of these things are in alignment with somebody or somebodies that you live with or you are close to, you see them every day, it is different. And I have to say this because I I have a business with my husband. And I've never had that, like a family business being my main income. I've never had my main job be, with my spouse before. So it is a very different lifestyle. It is very different when all aspects of your life are woven together, right? A lot of us, we get up, we go out into the world. We have a job separate from our kids and our significant others, our parents. They don't know what's going on in our work world. We're going out and, doing the thing. Then we come home. We might say a couple things about it and then we let it go. Well, no. This feels like there's something going on in your life where you all are really focused on working as a team. And I feel like part of this is there is a honing of skills, of abilities. Different people in the family have different strengths. right? And I don't think it ever was just like at a point where there was space to even dream about what you might all do together, because you've been so busy staying afloat, growing the family, supporting, the necessities. But I think that in this time, there's a space, and there is also the ability, the talent, the motivation. And it's almost kind of like one day, you're sitting at dinner, everybody's around the table. It's like Sunday dinner or something, right? And you get to talking about, what if we ever, remember we used to talk about starting that, I don't know, like rafting company, that hiking, touring company, or, whatever it is. I thought of the rafting company because I had a friend in high school, and his family had a rafting company. I think if I remember right, it was on the American River. And I'm from Sacramento, so I think it was up past Folsom and all of that. But anyways, and I always thought it was super cool because I swam in the river all the time back when you could swim in the rivers. And anyhow, I feel like it's something like where, it comes up and you get to like thinking like, you know what, I would be interested in this. Right? And it kind of just all comes together. So whatever this is, whatever this dream is, you're going to get together and you're going to do it. Or at least begin the process, right? I really feel like this is a closeness you have not felt with your family in a long time. And now here we are. And it feels it feels good. And I have to say, in a lot of readings, and I do lots of readings, there's almost never a return to peace in the family after, whatever has gone on. Because I know something has happened here. I know that at some point in the last, it's like been 5 or 10 years, somewhere in here, something like a tower moment, devastating. Something that I feel like you didn't think that you guys were going to come back from. Now, I feel like you stayed close to each other, but there was a feeling of things won't ever be the same. They're never going to be as good as they used to be. But this is it. This is the shift. And I feel you being at the center of things. I really do. I think that you are kind of the head of family now. I feel, at least, maybe not in name, right? But at least in practice. You are the one that's keeping people together. You're the one that's communicating with everybody. Getting things aligned. Getting people on task when they're not, smoothing things over when there are conflicts. And here's the big one. I think that you also provide a place where people can be together. So maybe you are the household where there are like dinners and family things and birthdays, and this is where the dreaming happens. This is where that excitement rises, right? That let's do this. Let's finally have something for ourselves, for our family. And I feel like that's a big shift. It is. It's a huge shift. It's absolutely will change the way that life feels. From the moment you wake up in the morning, things feel different. They feel like they're finally getting into the place that they're supposed to be. Okay? It feels solid. It feels connected. It feels, in a lot of ways, very freeing. I feel like this safety feels freeing for you. Now, I'm going to turn this. Now, I feel that you've been receiving some kind of attention. And I keep seeing a mirror. I see a heart and a mirror above. The heart is above. The person over here kind of drawing closer. Kind of like walking in to see closer looking. Now, we do have arrows. Here's an arrow. Here's an arrow. We have two people over here. And I do feel a sense of... This is a weird one, but when there is like a deep love, I can feel that there's going to be like a swelling of the heart, like my feelings, my wanting, maybe to some degree it is lust. But it's not a lust that's just in the physical. This is like a wanting to touch souls, right? Like if our psyche had like little tendrils that were reaching out, trying to find things to wrap around and grow upwards, right? This is like interacting with somebody that it's like your tendrils bump. You know, have you ever accidentally brushed hands with somebody in public while you're walking by? And now usually I wouldn't say like, oh, there's a spark there or anything. That would, I don't know. I don't know about that. But that makes me retreat into self thinking about it. I do not like touching strangers. Your psychic tendrils briefly, and there is that rising, that feeling. Oh, I notice, I see you through all of this kind of psychic, whatever, static, noise. And you're filled. I mean, you're just filled with, and it is a desire, but it is a wanting to connect, a union, maybe not even a union, maybe just I see you, you see me, we are, right? We confirm each other's existence or being or something, right? There is a magnetism. But there is also, and I can't emphasize it enough, this feeling of like a swelling, a wanting, a desire, I haven't felt alive in so long, I didn't even realize I didn't feel alive. Right? And this thing happens, this moment, this meeting, this courtship. And I don't know that it's romantic. It doesn't have to always be romantic, right? But it is a verification that you are here and your heart is beating. I can feel it pulsing, speeding up. Your lips are it's like tingly. This happens to me. This is what I was getting at earlier. I know when there's going to be a moment of just, I don't even know. Maybe it's ecstatic. Maybe it is that awe. If you've ever seen the sculptures of Saint Teresa, and I don't know if you've been here before, you might know she is one of my patrons, right? One of the like a lighthouse in the dark for me, right? And so I am prone to these fits of, indulgence of the agape, right? Swimming in those dews, that amarit, that mana, that thing that is almost like the soma, right? And so yes, I feel this though. I feel you in this kind of posture with life, this opening, a flower unfurling, dews dripping, right? A belovedness. And I feel you kind of in a splendor, relaxing in it all, melting into it all. And maybe this is the first time in a long time. Maybe this is the first time you've ever felt this way, but there is an intense love. And what is it for? I do not know, but I do think that it might be manifesting through another person or with another person, within a relationship with a person. And this is the theater that it is being performed. Okay? So I do feel a bit of a love story happening. I feel that you are having physical sensations. You are feeling lovely. That's how I mean, it feels lovely. It's throwing me into a state of feeling quite lovely. So, I do. And with the mirror, it really does. It leads me to believe, this is a manifesting of the anima, the animus. I feel that you are finding, you are embracing, you are coupling with an aspect of thy holy self, right? One of these major archetypes. And so the moon mixing with the sun. We have this feeling of eclipse, of stacking upon, of mingling and melding, and and so I feel that this is such a I don't want to say the word indulgent, because I feel like we really are at a place where we look at like fully immersing or allowing ourselves to succumb to, or being selfish with our time, our resources. This is really not, well, it's marketed to us, right? But it's not, I think in practice, not always looked on well, right? But I feel like for you, it just doesn't matter. And I don't see this as a destructive thing for you. Although we must remember that we have to always temper self. And if we are not upkeeping our foundation, and this is like our routine, our getting up every day, doing the stuff we need to do, taking care of ourselves, hygiene, moving, eating, breathing fresh air if possible, and so on and so forth. We have to do these things to be able to do this more complex stuff, right? And do it well. And that is the self-work. That is the experiencing. That is the living. So don't let me make you believe that this is all it is. It's not. It is one part of it. And you are lucky to be in that room if you are. That splendor. I don't know. I mean, for me, I like to work real hard and I like to play real hard. I've done it both ways, where I'm just working all the time and not in trying to live a very, I guess minimal life, and one without many indulgences or dalliances or, any of that stuff. And for me, it's like a prison. I don't do well in a very stripped down life. But on the other hand, I've done complete indulgence, right? And that doesn't work either. That's just that bacchanalian party. It has to shut down at some point, right? The lights got to come on. and everybody's got to go somewhere. You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here, right? That isn't it either. So there is a middle way. There is a balance that needs to happen, and I think that's really where we find ourselves right now. And I think that's why this is something that you can find so lovely, because you are in your power. You are upkeeping the things that you need to, while also having these moments, that just feel like they transport you, right? Right into that feel-good place. Ooh, I like it. I love it. I wish I were a Libra. All right, let's see. Where are we going here? We have a reunion. Look at this. We have a person here kind of almost like they're like in a seated position. They're standing up. They're starting to stand up, right? Arm raised right here. Where's my stick? Here we have a person. You can see the legs. Here's the upper torso. Arms are raised up. And again, we have that arrow. So to me, it does feel like walking towards each other, arms raised, about to hug, embrace, totally just wrap each other in yourselves, right? Heart to heart. That's what it feels like. Just a joy to be seen, a joy to be felt, a joy to come together. And I feel that this is a time of happiness for you. Now, we also have over here, if you see, we have the deer, and it is the antlers up here that we know it's the stag. It is very much about virility, that fiery power, that sacred force, that creative thing of the universe. But I do feel through all this love, you are so aligned with your divinity as well. I feel like people are drawn to you. Maybe even follow, like they're looking for some kind of direction, advice. Maybe you find yourself in an era of your life that feels weird, maybe a little bit, because people are looking to you to be a leader. And I think usually for a Libra, honestly, of the Libras I can think of, and every sign, of course, I have like a whole wealth of people I kind of think of as examples of each sign. But I can't think of one Libra in my life that has ever been a person that's like, I want to be the head of this company, or I want to, I want to be like the district manager, or I want to be in charge of this project or whatever. Not usually. Usually more of like a side role, keeping things together. Honestly, often being like a diplomat, a mediator, a counselor, this kind of thing. But I feel like you're in an era of your life where you are excited to be taking the lead on things. Now, I don't necessarily feel like you want to fit into somebody else's system so much as have your own system, right? Your own thing, like your own business, your own company, your own project. And I think that's where you're finding that you're actually really good at this. You're really good at conceptualizing, getting the thing set up to do, and rendering the thing, doing the work. And also, delegating, having people help you, having people work on the thing too. So I feel like this is kind of like you are discovering a superpower maybe a little bit later in life, but here it is, and I feel a great sense of pride in this, and you should have pride because you're doing, I mean, I really think that there are not a lot of limits for what you're going to be able to do. You know, the things that you will accomplish with this power that you have. Okay, so we have number 70 as our first lucky number. 70. 71. Number 71. 70, 71. And 37. Number 37. All right. Now, we're going to do our Wild Offering Oracle cards. I just have to say, I have to gloat a little bit. I have not said this to many people, although I have talked about my health journey from this last year. I have been, just working on building myself up because I really was so inactive besides just the basic living stuff for so long. You know, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to be able to keep up with my daughter. That was the number one thing. And my goals have changed, right, over the last year. But, you know, I'm not here to promote any kind of stance on weight or health or fitness or anything like that. I've always gone up and down in my physical aptitude, in my weight, you know, whatever. I've changed. I've looked different throughout the years. Whatever. I'm okay. I'm at peace with this. But this last year, and I feel selfish saying this, but I am so proud of myself. I mean, I really am. I finally hit my goal weight, you guys. And that the number doesn't matter. To me, it's about learning. The mental aspect of it has been the big thing. Pushing through, staying consistent, doing the same day in and day out. But I did lose over 100 pounds in the last year. And here's the other thing. I did not do it with medicine, or shots or whatever. And I want to emphasize, you know, that however we need to do things, whatever your journey looks like, it's all valid, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get to where you're going, right? You got to do what you got to do. You got to, you know, I support whatever anybody is doing in their life. You are a valuable person. You are a integral aspect of the greater whole. You are loved. You are beloved. This journey for me has made things so much more clear. I feel like it's not that I've become less available for people, but in kind of a way I am. I have really had to prioritize myself. I've had to guard myself deeply, and I've had to be okay with saying, like, I just can't do all these other things. I need to focus on my life right now. I need to be in my world, not just a visitor in my own life, right? Not just working constantly to support a life that I don't have time to be in. And I'm unwilling to live like that anymore. I think a lot of us are getting to that point, and I just want to tell you more than anything, and this is always my thing. This is what I told people when I was in, I was doing 12-step. I still do a little bit of that, but I'm in recovery. But I don't necessarily do that. But this is what I've always said. If I can do this, if I am able to accomplish any of these things, so are you. Because I am a silly lady. I am an absurd lady. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I just show up. You know, I just show up and I do the thing, and I do it again tomorrow, and I do it again tomorrow, and I do it again tomorrow, and I do it again tomorrow. And it sounds insane maybe, but that's what it is. Sometimes that's what it is. So if I can do it, you can do it. Whatever it is that you have on your plate there, that you are thinking, this is the thing that I want to do. This is the business I want to start. This is the person that I want to be. This is the physical state I want to be in. This is where I want my mental. This is where I want my spiritual. These are the skills that are important to me. I want to hone those. I want to build them up. If I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So anyways, I'm sorry. I had to say it. I had to do my little self pat on the back. And also though, really, I am in a place where I just want to take everybody with. I want everybody to be working on whatever it is that your heart is telling you. This is the time. All right, I'm going to flip. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. I'm going to put this thing right over. I'm sorry. I can hear my daughter upstairs, and I know my husband, he needs to film next, so I'm hurrying up. I'm rambling here. We have doubt, right? Here's doubt. Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises. But you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. It is. It really, this is another way in my mind of saying you just keep showing up. Because listen, there are so many days I don't want to do what I know I need to do. And I just say, you know what? I'm just going to put my mind somewhere else. I'm going to listen to Alan Watts. I'm going to listen to Terrence McKenna. I'm going to put on some, oh my gosh. What is his name? I just lost it. Wilson. What is your name? Robert Anton Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry, Father. He's like one of my dads, dude. I just lost his name. I do. And I just put it on and I listen and I just kind of let myself vibe with the workout or whatever I'm doing. Sometimes you just got to put it in the hands of the divine. Let them send you the messages you need and do the dang thing, Work on the thing. Do your skill. You get home from work, you don't want to practice piano or practice, maybe you're learning how to bake or, whatever. It's a mess. I don't want to get into it. It's so much work. But if I say no today, tomorrow I'm going to probably say no too. I'm going to find a reason. I'm good at finding reasons. So just, come with me. Walk with me. Let's do this thing together. All right. I love you, Libra. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, we'll talk soon. Take care of yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're wonderful. I hope you feel so good, and I hope that you are having so much fun. Absolutely. Use this time. Okay?